Welcome back to Wildcard Wednesday, August 12th, 2009. I'm not sure if some of you are aware, but I also work as a labor and delivery doula. A doula is somebody who assists a woman and her partner in helping coach them throughout their labor and delivery. We don't deliver the babies, but we're the professional labor coaches. So when I meet clients for the first time, I like to make them welcome and to thank them for including me in this most special, intimate experience in their lives. So I always create them a little card congratulating them on their swell news and their pregnancy journey. So today I'm going to make one of those cards. So I'm going to start with the new in color Dusty Durango cardstock. Our card measures 4.25 inch squares. So it's 8.5, scored at 4.25, folded over. That makes a 4.25 inch square card. We're going to be using Versamark. We're also going to be using the Circle Circus stamp set. It's so versatile with all the different designs, and it also can be used as a two-way stamp set, but we're just going to be using it the regular way. We're going to be using a retired stamp set as well called Swell News. I've had this for quite a while, and I like to use it because it has the image of the pregnant woman on the cover. We're going to be using some old olive ink. I'm just going to use a little Stampin' Spot here, and some old olive grosgrain ribbon, and some Stampin' Write markers and a blender pen, as well as our Signo white marker, and a few buttons just for a little bit of embellishment. Oh, we also need a little bit of Whisper white cardstock, and I'll give you the measurements as we go along. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp a background on our 4.25 inch card here, and we're going to be using this Circle Circus stamp set. We're going to stamp it on with Versamark, and I'm just going to randomly use whatever stamps I want. There's no rhyme, no reason. We're just creating a background. So here's a good close-up look at how the Versamark stamped on the cardstock. We had a really pretty background. Okay, we're just going to set our card aside for a moment. Now I've cut a piece of Whisper white cardstock 2.5 by 3 inches, and this piece is another piece of the Dusty Durango 2.5 by 2 inches. So we'll take this piece first, and I'm going to be stamping my sentiment that says, "Congratulations on your swell news." I'm going to be taking the old olive ink and stamp that kind of fairly close to the top of the little piece of cardstock. There. Congratulations on your swell news. Now we're going to take this same piece of cardstock and then just tear just a little bit from this edge here. So we'll just put that aside for a minute. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our little pregnant image of the pregnant lady, and we're going to stamp her right on top of this white cardstock with the same ink, the old olive ink. There. For the next part, we're going to be using our Stampin' Write markers to color our lady. So what I usually do, I'm going to color her dress. I like to use non-gender specific colors because I never know if my clients are having boys or girls. I'm going to color her dress in the more mustard. What I do is I take my marker, I use the package, and I just scribble a little bit of the color on there. Then I take a blender pen and some scratch paper just to make sure that it's all clear. Get rid of any extra color that's in there. I'm taking the wider side and I kind of go over here and pick up some of that marker ink and just start coloring her dress. The great thing about using the Stampin' Write markers like this is baby wipes just clean that off fantastic. For the next part, we're going to take our snail adhesive here. We're going to glue on our Swell News Congratulations right about here. As you can see, I want to make sure that we don't cut off her head. Once this is glued on, then I want you to trim the bottom and trim off the top so they're both the same width. There, so we've got it trimmed. And the next thing we're going to do is take our old olive ink and we're going to ink all the way around. There, that's inked really nicely. We're going to create some faux stitching along here. You'll need to use a really straight edge and line it up with right here because our torn edge is not straight. So line it up with the bottom and just run the Signo white gel pen along the edge to create some stitch marks like sewing. I've punched out two tags, one out of the Dusty Durango and one out of Whisper White. They were both the same, but I trimmed this one just a little bit. I eyeballed it just about 1/8 of an inch in so that it can sit with the Dusty Durango as a little mat around like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stamp You Grow Girl on the white piece of cardstock here. Next, I'm just going to mount this white piece on the Dusty Durango and then punch a hole. Before I mount this on the Dusty Durango tag mat, I'm going to take the ink and just lightly ink around the edges of that white tag. Okay, we have all our elements to our card except for our ribbon. We're going to take some grosgrain old olive ribbon, wrap it around here, poke our tag through, and make a little knot. Before we went ahead and added our ribbon to just ink around the card as well. The very last thing we are going to do is take some foam tape and attach our congratulations and our sentiment on the very top. So here we have our little card. Congratulations on your swell news and you grow girl. So even if you're not a doula, I'm sure you all have somebody who's expecting around you or in your family. So go ahead and create them a little card and I'm sure they'll really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.